working on a new build for a client of mine. It's gone for this hype curved glass case. But anyway, the main thing, the star of the show, is this AMD Radeon 9070 XT graphics card, 16 gig GDDR6. And this is the triple radiator I've gone with here from a company called Thermalright. It's called the Frozen Warfare Ryzen 5 9600X CPU. Let's see this thing in. And I went for also the 2TB from Silicon Power. It's the NVMe Gen 4 SSD. Has some decent reviews, and it seems pretty reasonable for the price. It's around the sort of £100 range, so not too bad. And the RAM, I've gone with 64 mega transfers per second from the company called Patriot. It's the Viper RGB RAM. So of course we want to light this entire thing up and make this thing pop, because again, the car is paying over £1,000. When you're paying over £1,000 for a build, it needs to look somewhat respectably decent. Anyway, I went for this motherboard, which is from Gigabyte also as well. So the entire thing is going to be Gigabyte themed. I like to keep the manufacturers, OEMs that I use, uniform, because it looks better that way, I think. But anyway, I couldn't get Gigabyte RAM, so we just stuck with what was there. This is a 8500M. It's a mid, I think a micro ATX motherboard, because obviously this size of this case is quite small and it couldn't fit a full-size motherboard. Tuck in the cables, so make sure they're no tucked in, and we can do some cable management afterwards. Point the fact out, I hate the fact that there's so much cable management that I have to do as well. But anyway, this is the graphics card, which you can see all sealed, packaged, nice and neat. It doesn't come with any additional sort of cables inside, so normally I thought that it would come with some extra brackets or something or another, but I guess, you know, no frills. This is how the Frozen Warfare goes inside. Decided to draw number 8 because that's just how it came out of the tube. Didn't mean to draw number 8, tried to do an X, but I mean, it is what it is. The power supply is seated correctly, everything's all good to go, and boot this thing up, and what happens? No post, no nothing. So I'm thinking to myself, it could be the RAM issue. It just could be the RAM. Maybe it's something, all these things putting together, maybe just something doesn't sit quite right. Tried out a different RAM. Unfortunately, the power supply started ticking, so I had to send that power supply back. And got ourselves a spare power supply on hand, which is from MSI, and still no post. So I'm thinking to myself, maybe it's just not enough power. Maybe it needs more oomph, because the power supply, the graphics card rated at 850 watt minimum. So I'm thinking to myself, it should be enough, but who knows. Anyway, I got myself a 1000 watt power supply and still nothing. So I'm thinking to myself, why is the CPU light going on? What's going on here? Could the old power supply, could it shorted something out? Could it short any component on the board? Because now the RAM's going on as well, and the RAM I've tested in another build works. Graphic card works in another build. So I got myself a brand new motherboard, installed this motherboard, and lo and behold, still nothing. What is going on? So final thing was to get a CPU.